Hello, welcome back. Let's continue with this series of videos listing one underrated song per album. Right, let's do the biggie, Iron Maiden. Let's go back to the very first album, the self-titled. And the song I'm picking for this, I think it is quite a well-liked fan favourite, but compared to some of the other hits on the album, it still needs talking about. And the song is Remember Tomorrow. It's a really cool song. It's got a really slow build, a melodic start, and then when the song proper kicks in a bit later on, it's just a very awesome song. It's got great riffs, great melodies. Diano sounds really good on that song. Other songs that I like on the self-titled that could possibly also be underrated is Transylvania and also Prowler, the opener. But obviously the album has big hits like the self-titled Iron Maiden, Phantom of the Opera, Charlotte the Harlot, 22 Acacia Avenue. It's those are big hits, so those are not something that I would say are underrated. Anyway, let's move on to the Killers album. And the song I'm choosing here is called Innocent Exile. I think this is an awesome song. Actually, the whole Killers album is slightly underrated, believe it or not, in my opinion. It's really awesome. Innocent Exile is such a great tune. It's got great build again. It's got great melodies. It's just a great tune. Other songs that could be classed as underrated from this album are Prodigal Son and Purgatory. Prodigal Son especially I really like. I like the acoustic feel of Prodigal Son, but the album has hits as well which are well, not overrated, but well talked about, like Wrathchild, Killers, Murders in the Rue Morgue. I mean, I love Murders in the Rue Morgue, but I wouldn't say it's definitely an underrated song. But Innocent Exile, I mean, I've hardly heard anyone talking about that. Maybe a few people, but not many anyway. Right, next album, Number of the Beast. Well, the album is chock full of hits, so to find an underrated song, it's a little bit difficult, but I've decided to go with Opener Invaders. I think it's a really cool little song. It's got a lovely melody, sort of slightly odd melody in the chorus. You wouldn't think it was sort of, I don't know. It's not a single sounding song, but the melody is really catchy anyway. The Prisoner, I was toying with the idea of saying The Prisoner is underrated, but it's an okay song. It's not my favourite, but it's good. 22 Acacia Avenue, I mentioned that in the last album, for the first album, mistakenly. Sorry. 22 Acacia Avenue is good as well. I mean, the rest of the album is chock full of all the hits that everyone knows. All the big hits. Number of the Beast, so on. Hallowed be Thy Name. So no underrating for those, obviously. So for Number of the Beast, it's Invaders. Peace of Mind, I've gone for Still Life. It's another one of those slow starting, slow building songs. The chorus is really great. I mean, it's really great, really epic chorus. Still Life. I'm not sure if Maiden have played that live too many times, this song, but maybe on the Peace of Mind tour. But since I've been going to Maiden, and I've seen Maiden maybe 14, 15 times, and I've never heard this song live. No hope. But it's an awesome song. The other two songs which could possibly be underrated in this are Sun and Steel and To Tame a Land. Although To Tame a Land does have a lot of fans, Sun and Steel less so, but for me, Still Life wins. The first 3 or 4 songs on the album are all big hits, so I wouldn't say they were underrated. Where Eagles Dare, Revelations, Trooper, of course, the big single. Okay, moving on to Powerslave. The song I've chosen from this is The Duelists. I think it's a great song. It's got sort of that galloping, very maidenish feel, pounding riffs, great chorus, very melodic, very nice guitar melodies later on in the song as well. Other songs which I like from this one, which are slightly less songs, are Lost for Words, which is an instrumental. I love that one. And well, Rime of the Ancient Mariner, I mean, it's a big hit, so I wouldn't say it was underrated. But anyway, the rest of the album is full of big hits. Maybe not Back in the Village, which I could also choose for this, but I'm not huge into Back in the Village. I prefer Duelists from the lesser known songs. Right, moving on. Somewhere in Time. For this album, I've gone for the track Deja Vu. I think it's a really upbeat, catchy song. It's, you know, the theme of the song about things happening to you that have happened before, and you think, has this happened before? It's quite a regular theme for metal bands, I think. So it's good that Maiden have got one song like that as well. And it's really catchy as well. I think it's a little bit underrated, to be honest. I'd love to hear it live one day. I doubt. Can it happen? I can't remember if I've heard it live, but I doubt it. Next, the other song that I really like from this is "Loneliness" of the Long Distance Runner. I think it's really catchy, really fast paced. So that could possibly be underrated as well. But the rest of the album is a lot of hit songs: "Wasted Years," "Caught Somewhere in Time." "Sea of Madness" is slightly underrated as well. "Stranger in a Strange Land." I'm not a huge fan of that. I know a lot of people like Stranger in a Strange Land, but I've never really been huge. "Alexander the Great" is a great song. I do like it, but I wouldn't say it was underrated. But anyway, moving on. "Seventh Son of a Seventh Son." There's a lot of good songs on this. The song I've gone for is "The Prophecy." I think it's a great song. It's got great riffs, clean melodies. Awesome song, really. I mean, there's nothing to complain about at all in that album anyway. But the other songs which I think are underrated are "Moonchild" and "Only the Good Die Young." I really like those two as well. I mean, I love "The Clairvoyant," but I would say that's a well-rated song. The title track is also an epic song, but it's a well-known song and has a lot of fans. Okay, the next album, "No Prayer for the Dying." Now, this is actually my least favourite Iron Maiden album. I know most people rank this pretty low as well, and I did an Iron Maiden ranking, and I rank this bottom, believe it or not. I think I was slightly unfair to it, and I'll listen to a few bits and pieces of this to come up with a song that is underrated, and the one I came across was "Run Silent, Run Deep." I think it's a really cool song, actually, having listened to it again. It's got a really nice chorus, very memorable, very catchy. It's a cool song. It's not really fast either, it's sort of mid-tempo. It's a really nice song. The other song actually that really stood out is "Mother Russia." It's an okay song. It's good. Some of the other songs didn't really enjoy. The hits of the album are "Holy Smoke" and "Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter," which are okay songs, but everyone knows those songs fairly well. Right, we're moving on to "Fear of the Dark." Now, the song that stood out from this was "Childhood's End." I think this is a really awesome song. I didn't actually realise how good it was. It's got a lovely melody. It's quite a plaintive song. It's sort of like reminiscing about, ending of childhood and so on. So it's it's a very melodic song as well. Very cool little guitar melodies here and there. Another song which I like from this album which is slightly underrated, is Afraid to Shoot Strangers. It's quite a moody song. It's a good song. I mean, it's got a lot of melody. Of the album's hits, Fear of the Dark and Be Quick or Be Dead. I like those. They're good. I mean, I love Fear of the Dark, but not to include as an underrated song. That's for certain. Okay, moving on to the first Blaze album, X Factor. And the song that I think is slightly underrated from this is The Edge of Darkness. It's a good song. It's got a slow build, very slow build, which is a slight drawback. But then once it gets going, it's got really nice guitar melodies. And it's got that simple, catchy gallop that Maiden uses a lot. I think it's a pretty good song. I wouldn't mind to hear Bruce singing that song. I think he could do a really good job on that song. Okay, moving on to the second and final Blaze album, Virtual 11. The song I think is slightly underrated from this is When Two Worlds Collide. It's got a catchy feel to it. I mean, the chorus is quite melodic. Blaze's vocals are not the best on it, but the song itself is actually pretty melodic and catchy. I think that's another one that I would like to see Bruce singing. Future Real is also a favourite of mine. I know Bruce has sung Future Real, and Klansman is obviously the big hit of the album, so not underrated by any means. Okay, the first of the reunion era albums, Brave New World, and I've gone for Dream of Mirrors as my underrated song. It is very much an epic. It's a very proggy tune. You know, it's got the slow build, it's got the many sections, great riffs, very melodic, very catchy as well in parts. It's an awesome song. It sits right bang in the middle of the album, which makes it a good centerpiece. So I really like Dream of Mirrors. I think it's an awesome song. Two other songs which I really like are The Mercenary and The Nomad. The Nomad especially is really awesome. It's quite an emotional song as well. But the whole album is really excellent. I think it's my favourite of the reunion albums, to be honest, Brave New World. But so for that one, I went for Dream of Mirrors. Now, Dance of Death. I've gone for the song Montsegur. I think this is a really underrated song. It's a really up-tempo, folky, catchy song. You know, it's got these typical folkish Maiden riffs. Very catchy. You know, it's got that sort of like stomping feel. I just love Montsegur. Another song which I love from this is the final track, Journeyman. I think it's a really cool sort of moody ballad type song. It's got good build on that song. Right, moving on. A Matter of Life and Death. This was difficult for me because I found the songs... I didn't want to choose a shorter song, so I don't know. I thought I'd choose The Longest Day. I think it's an real epic song. It's, as one of the Maiden epic goes, this one is fairly underrated. I think they've played it live quite a fair bit as well, but still, it's a very cool song. It's quite emotional again. Everything is war. Most things are war related on this album, so it's quite emotionally draining at times, and it's quite long as well, but it's still a cool song. The other two songs which I was thinking about choosing are Benjamin Brig and The Pilgrim, Reincarnation of Benjamin Brig. But then I thought Benjamin Brig is quite a well-rated song, so I thought I'd leave that out. And The Pilgrim I like as well because it's more of a short song. So it's between The Pilgrim and The Longest Day, and I went for The Longest Day. Okay, The Final Frontier. The song I've gone for here is The Alchemist. It's a bit of a shorter song, more punchy, more to the point, more catchy riffs. It's not like you know, it's not like some of the latter day Maiden epics where songs get drawn out. Even the shorter songs are drawn out, but The Alchemist is more to the point. It's more melodic. It's very catchy. The other two songs I was thinking about were The Talisman and Isle of Avalon, and then I decided to stick with The Alchemist as my underrated song from The Final Frontier. And finally, we reached the most recent album, The Book of Souls. And the song I've gone for here is Shadows of the Valley. It's a song that starts off very much like Wasted Years. The guitar intro is like paying homage to Wasted Years. And then the song itself is a galloping song. It's a very cool song. It's easily one of my favorites from the Book of Souls. I think it's a little bit underrated. I don't recall them playing it live on the Book of Souls tour, and I did see the tour, although they might have done. I'm not 100% sure on that. The other two songs which I like that I think are a little bit underrated are Death or Glory, although a lot of people do like Death or Glory, and The Red and the Black, which is a long tune written by Steve Harris alone, I believe. But in the end, Shadows of the Valley is the one that I plumped for as the underrated song from the Book of Souls. Okay, there you have it. Those are the 16 underrated songs from each single Iron Maiden album. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. Till next time.